Imagine waking up tomorrow, not as a normal person, but as the most powerful man in the largest empire on Earth. You are the Emperor of China. Your home is the legendary Forbidden City, a palace so vast it has nearly 10,000 rooms. Millions of people call you Son of Heaven. But here's the part most people don't realize. Being the emperor was basically the hardest full-time job in the world. So what did a normal day actually look like? Let's find out. 4 a.m. The emperor wakes up. It's still completely dark outside. No sunlight, no birds, just silence inside the massive walls of the Forbidden City. Then suddenly, a quiet voice breaks the silence. Your Majesty, it is time. You slowly open your eyes. Yes, it's 4 in the morning. Welcome to imperial life. Servants quickly bring warm water so you can wash your face. Then comes the royal outfit, the famous dragon robe. This isn't just clothing, it's a symbol of absolute power. But putting it on is not easy. Multiple layers, precise decorations, strict rules. Dressing the emperor can easily take 20 minutes. Finally, you step outside. The sky is still dark, but the ruler of the empire is already at work. 5 a.m., the mountain of reports. Before breakfast, before meetings, before anything else, comes the paperwork. Every single day, reports arrive from every corner of the empire. Floods in one province, corruption investigations in another, military updates from distant borders. Some days there are dozens of reports. Other days, hundreds. You begin reading. One report talks about a flood destroying farmland. Another accuses a local official of taking bribes. Another warns about possible trouble along the frontier. Each one requires a decision. Approve, reject, investigate. A single sentence written by the emperor could determine someone's entire future. Promotion or execution. The famously hardworking Yongjung emperor was known to read and respond to these reports for up to 16 hours a day. In fact, historians estimate he personally wrote tens of thousands of comments on official documents. In modern terms, being emperor meant being buried under paperwork. 6:30 a.m., the imperial court meeting. As the first light of dawn appears, it's time for the daily court meeting. You walk into the grand hall. Hundreds of officials are already waiting, perfectly arranged in rows, heads bowed. No one dares look directly at you. A court attendant announces loudly, "The emperor has arrived!" Instantly, the hall echoes with voices shouting, "Long live the emperor! Long live the emperor! Long live the emperor!" You take your seat on the throne, and the meeting begins. Officials step forward one by one. They report on taxes, agriculture, military affairs. Sometimes discussions become intense. Arguments break out between ministers. But in the end, everyone turns to you, because the final decision is always yours. 8:30 a.m., imperial breakfast. Finally, food. The emperor's dining table looks incredible. There can be over 100 dishes prepared. Roasted meats, delicate pastries, rare fruits. But here's the strange rule. You're not supposed to eat too much of any single dish. Why? Poison. If someone learns your favorite food, they might try to poison it. So the emperor must pretend to enjoy everything equally. A bite here, a bite there. Meanwhile, servants carefully record exactly what you eat. Yes, even the emperor's lunch habits are part of official records. 9:30 a.m., back to work. After breakfast, the work continues. More reports, more decisions, more writing. Running an empire means overseeing everything: the army, the economy, the courts, and millions of citizens. There is no such thing as a slow day. Being emperor isn't just about sitting on a golden throne. It's about managing one of the largest governments in history. 12 p.m., lunch. At noon, lunch is served. Once again, the table is filled with food. And once again, you must eat carefully. No favorites, no overeating, just enough to stay healthy. After lunch, you might get a short break, but don't get too comfortable. The empire is still waiting. 1 p.m., private meetings. Now come the private audiences, important generals, senior ministers, financial advisors. These smaller meetings often shape the biggest decisions. Should taxes increase? Should the army move troops? Should a corrupt official be punished? History sometimes changes inside these quiet rooms. 3 p.m., study time. Even emperors must study. Education was taken very seriously during the Qing Dynasty. Emperors studied Confucian philosophy, history, literature, and calligraphy. The Qianlong Emperor was especially famous for his love of writing. Legend says he composed over 40,000 poems during his lifetime. That's more poetry than most people could read in a year. So yes, even the emperor had homework. 5 p.m. A walk through the palace. After a long day, you finally step outside for a walk. The Forbidden City is enormous. Golden rooftops stretch across the horizon. Quiet gardens hide between ancient halls. Small lakes reflect the red palace walls. It's beautiful, but there's also something strange about it. Most emperors rarely left the Forbidden City. In many ways, this palace was their entire world. 6 p.m. Dinner. Dinner is calmer than the earlier meals. Soft music may play. Court performers might put on an opera or musical performance. For a brief moment, the emperor can relax, at least a little. 8 p.m. The imperial harem. In the evening, the emperor may visit the imperial harem. But even this part of royal life follows strict procedures. Servants present wooden tablets with the names of imperial consorts. The emperor selects one. Everything is carefully recorded. Because inside the palace, even romance is part of official protocol. 10 p.m. Work again. For some emperors, the day still isn't over. The Yongjung emperor was famous for working late into the night. More reports, more writing, more decisions. The lamps in the palace remain lit while the rest of the city sleeps. 11:30 p.m. Finally, sleep. At last, the emperor returns to his chamber. Servants prepare the bed. Lanterns are dimmed. The enormous Forbidden City slowly becomes quiet. You close your eyes. After a 16-hour workday, sleep finally arrives. But only for a few hours, because tomorrow, at exactly 4 a.m., someone will knock on the door again. Your Majesty, it is time. And the life of the emperor begins all over again.